And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my live stream. And there is no background music today. I can turn it on, but going to try doing this without a background music. And looking at the thumbnail, it says there, we want more woke games. Yeah. Yeah, because I've read and heard that woke game developers are doubling down, which means we want more woke games. Give us more woke games. There's nothing wrong with woke games. We want more of it. And there is also nothing wrong in not buying them. Oh my goodness. OBS is red. The bandwidth indicator is red. I'm hoping that I'm not disconnected. I hope I'm not. Okay, this is new. Although it says there 7 hours ago. I'm going to check this out from Asmongold TV.
What did I say about Kotaku?
Also, they're not the ones uploading this and editing their videos. They have editors, which means they can focus on the live stream, and then after the live stream, the editors will take the or download the recorded live stream and then edit it and then upload it to YouTube. This is insane. OBS still showing red, even though the bitrate is normal.
Last time they did layoffs. I'm going to react to myself. But yeah, it looks like Kotaku is continuing to fall apart. Kotaku's laid off 4 more staff. One of them is the person who...
Oh, look at that. Asmongold reacting to Asmongold.
Man.
Context. In the past months, Kotaku's holding company, Geo Media, has been trying to sell every website that it owns, and Kotaku is one of the few it has left. 2 months ago, the editor-in-chief resigned. Now, 4 other employees were laid off, which is basically the entire YouTube team of a channel that has been dying for years. It is still not quite clear if Kotaku's extraordinaire Alyssa Mercante resigned too, after she updated her Twitter bio. Just yesterday, she was proudly sharing how she was DMing somebody's wife of a person she was having Twitter beef with.
Like, this is like IRL doxing and like getting involved in like people's real life. I would not be surprised if something like this caused her to lose her job.
She then defended herself. By saying that people can DM her parents as much as they want. Not a problem at all. Turns out that's the stupidest thing you can ever possibly say on the internet, since there are schizos ready to take up the challenge, and please do report anyone who does this.
People are just tired of it. It's exhausting. Young people don't read Kotaku. To be fair, nobody does. And that's why they're really firing everybody. It's because they've destroyed their reputation. I don't think Kotaku is going to be able to redeem its reputation. I think they have to rename the company. They have to like remake the entire thing. So yesterday they did a bunch of other layoffs, and crazy that happened. What are the odds, huh? Wow, look at that. Take a look at this.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And man, that did not take long, just a day or two after the election, and Alyssa Mercante is apparently gone from Kotaku. If only someone could have seen this coming.
I know, right? And I'm like...
And previously, Asmon was doing the crazy eyes
there and blaming
Now he's doing the evil smile.
Game Bros, because that's what she's blaming everything on. And that's the trend we keep seeing with people like her, people we're seeing with the media and Hollywood, and the people having meltdowns about the election. Instead of blaming and looking in the mirror and being like, what did I do to lead to this problem? It's everybody else's fault.
Yep.
She's gone out on and toxically went after people for months trying to cause drama. I'm surprised it took this long for it to bite her in the ass.
Yeah, we're
To be fair, she actually didn't blame anybody in her statement at all that she was leaving. She didn't blame toxic guys. She didn't blame gamers. She just said that she's leaving and she's going somewhere else. Like, I mean, to be fair.
yeah, she might have
Someone
to
didn't
get
have
back
to pay
to
for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yet, if I tell you it's raining and you go outside and it's not raining, and then I say it's not raining yet, you're going to say, shut up, fucking retard. It's not raining. Why are you telling me that it's fucking raining if it's not raining? What are we doing? What are we doing with this yet thing?
I have no idea what you're doing, Asmon.
talk about this. Is that she is right now the biggest pain in the ass for a lot of gamers. She goes out of her way to antagonize. And,
Because that's her only claim.
Okay. So look, here's the thing. I'll link you this video. I don't want to watch the whole fucking video about this shit. Like, I think this is totally fucking overblown. Whether she got fired or not, there's a video. I'm not going to watch this video. I'll just look at a few tweets and talk about it myself. Let me see if I can find it here. Obviously, as
He didn't watch it because he was not in agreement. I do that sometimes. When I see a video from a content creator that I like and
okay, yeah.
I'm not liking what he was saying, I would not watch it as well. That was the reason why he didn't watch the video. He usually watches videos from Clownfish TV.
Websites, but knows
I guess
websites.
he knows that
To already be
he wouldn't agree with what they were saying,
writers announcing
and
been laid off.
that is the reason why he didn't continue watching it.
Only joined the site earlier this year were abruptly laid off by management this afternoon. So this is really not that big of a surprise. Nobody should be surprised by this. The reason why Kotaku is doing layoffs is because they're not making enough money. It's actually an incredibly simple, very easy to understand paradigm that for
Well, the reason they're not making money is because no one's reading them.
why it happened.
No one's reading their articles anymore
To do a bunch of
because they hate gamers.
watching
For a gaming website to hate gamers,
and also I think that as Kotaku has become more and more
what were they expecting? It's the same with game development studios hating gamers.
about Kotaku, and Kotaku has just in general earned itself a negative reputation that will affect how much advertisers want to advertise on that website, because they don't want to have their advertisements shown next to things that are problematic or next to things that could alienate potential buyers of their product. Yeah, it's bad for business. It's very simple. And so, and I'm not even saying this is a good thing, but I'm saying this is what happens. And so Kotaku is simply not getting a lot of people talking about them. And it's really just that simple. They're not getting a lot of people coming in and reading the articles. People are not referring to the articles. And the only time I ever hear about anything about Kotaku, it's usually when somebody writes an article that's extremely inflammatory.
Hates me.
And it makes everybody mad. So what ends up happening is that you have all these people that are getting fired and getting removed.
Or articles written by people who hates me.
The company isn't making enough money. That's the way it
Why would I read those articles? It wouldn't make sense.
bad decisions. I don't even think that's what's happening. Management mandated that some writers stick to service posts. Now that the numbers aren't panning out, surprise, surprise, those writers have been laid off. Cruel and misguided. Here's really what the problem is. I actually don't think it's Geo Media's fault. The reason why this is happening is because print media is simply a bad medium to talk about video games in. YouTube videos are just a much better medium in every single way. So big surprise, you're going to see a lot of people going back and looking at YouTube videos and talking about that instead, because that's going to give them a better indicator of kind of what the game is like. Also, the reputation of video game journalists has been going down somehow they
Not journalists. They're not journalists. They're not gaming journalists. They're gaming writers.
approaching zero number of credibility things they've done gets cut in half every single year. And so Rip Game Informer, well, that's what happens. And so print is dead, and it has been for years. Look at IGN. IGN survives not because of its website. IGN survives for two reasons. Number one, IGN has done a great job transitioning towards making content about base entertainment products like movies, TV shows, and different other types of things like that. Like I think there's probably one more like anime and shit. So that's one big reason why IGN has done the best. And the other reason is because they do YouTube. They get more YouTube views on their channel than I do. It's a lot. And so that helps them pay for everything. And that's all on top of the product that they're delivering with their website, which is effective.
Come on, guys. Why are you guys watching IGN videos?
IGN has effectively built a product that is more future-proof than Kotaku has. Whereas Kotaku has relied on just writing articles, and they have a very limited YouTube presence, and their insight and input into other products and other websites and other things are just bad. Also, let's look at it like this, right? If I go and I pull up Kotaku, and then I pull up IGN, let's do a IGN review, and we'll do a Kotaku review, and we're going to compare the two things. Let's look at the review for New World Eternum. So this is already confusing. And then I'm going to look at the review. No thanks. Let me just get rid of this. See, like, here they are. They're reviewing the new. I guess this is. Oh, holy fuck. How many times are you going to put this up? How annoying. Holy shit. Anyway, so they're reviewing.
There you go, guys. So another reason not to go to their website. It's annoying. Look at that. That thing is still there. Even after getting clicked.
And if you look at the review,
after clicking no thanks 100 times, it's still there.
New World reviews, game tips. If you look at this, this is a terrible product compared to IGN. IGN has a much better website layout. They have a video. They have a video guide that shows you as well. Both are bad. I actually don't think this is bad outside of this extremely annoying thing. Yeah, this is much better to look at. And it looks like an actual review. You can scroll all the way down. You can read everything. This is extremely comprehensive. There's a lot of information about it. They said the game sucks, but they gave a lot of reasons for it. Whereas if you go and you look at Kotaku's review for New World Eternum, and this is just one review, I just picked it out. All it is a bunch of copy-paste of Steam reviews. That's it. Now, they're talking about Steam reviews, so maybe that's not a great comparison. Let me see if I can find another video. Let's look at Mario and Luigi. So this is the new game. It's hard to even figure out where you can get a review for this. Continue reading. This is they're just referencing other things. This product is simply inferior. The website is a fundamentally inferior product to IGN. Why would I go to Kotaku when IGN can provide a better product? Go to the actual review section. Well, here's the problem. So you're thinking about it like, go to the review section. You're stupid for going to the review section. What do you think the average person's going to do? Well, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to get confused too, because it's hard to understand. Whereas in IGN, if I want to find what this is, I just simply click on reviews. I click on all reviews, and it gives me an easy list that is very easy to understand. Again, if you compare this to Kotaku, there's just weird Rolodex thing. There's watch, sci-fi, racing. This is terrible. You're a dumb user? Well, who do you think is reading video game reviews? It's people that are dumb. Like, what do you expect? This is terrible. If I click on reviews here we go. Finally, we have a review. There we go. And that's finally what it is. Yeah. And dumb people don't mind. Yeah, and I think having the white background is bad too. They're both bad, honestly. If you want to say that they're both bad, that's totally fine. However, I think that you should admit that IGN is less bad. So anyway, we'll go back to Kotaku and talk about this. This website is basically fucking dead. Kotaku is one of the last remaining websites in Geo Media's portfolio, following the recent sale of everything from The Onion to whatever was left of Deadspin. Its masthead now is down to just a handful of writers and editors, and not much of the site's service work is being handed off to freelancers. Kotaku absolutely should shut down. I think they should. I'm just being honest. And the reason why is that their reputation is so damaged from like the amount of like weird dramas that they got into. And like they've had... Kotaku is like known as the like woke gaming website. And the only reason why people talk about IGN so much now is that Kotaku has fallen off so much that it's not even really talked about at all. But if it is, people are talking about it being woke. And so woke is kind of dead. Well, it's very clear that a lot of people are not interested in reading video game content that has a woke spin. It's evident that that's not true. And so whether you think it should be or not doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, people aren't pursuing the content. They're not looking it up. And it's going to cause Kotaku to completely fall apart. I do not think that the website is redeemable. I don't. I think that they have had 10 years of bad press, 10 years of, like damage to this IP. I think that they need to completely, if they want to make another video game website, they have to make a completely new website with a new name, a new philosophy, and new people. They have to completely rebuild it from the ground up. A rebrand? Yeah, they made their own bed. They did. And so same shit happened to G4? Yeah, exactly. And so the reason why it doesn't happen to IGN, again, is because IGN has a better business strategy. It's that simple. And so I said this was going to happen 6 months ago or 3 months ago, whenever it was. It's happening. So they're laying off even more people. So yeah, there you go. Only their SEO is good, nothing else. Yeah, but SEO is in a lot of ways like kind of a legacy thing because they've been in SEO for a long time, so they remain in SEO. I think that's what happens a lot. So yeah, I wouldn't really take that all too seriously, personally. I find it funny that rebrand would mean right for gamers with gamers. It's so over, bros. Yeah, I guess so, right? But yeah, that's basically what's happened, and I'm really not surprised by this at all. And I think that Kotaku will continue to decline and fall apart more and more and more.
Okay, well, that was interesting. He didn't watch the Clownfish TV video. Because he realized from the start he's not going to agree with what they're saying. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to agree with what everyone is saying as well. Okay, what do we have here? BioWare's woke agenda is ruining Dragon Age. Gamers are fed up. This is from Facts Over Feels. I'm not familiar with this channel, but let me go and watch this.
Pounding that snake's nose. She's still holding the room.
Oh, come on. It's the scene again.
So proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
What are you doing?
Pulling a barb.
Oh, okay.
a barv.
Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Barv. Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crews, not good for morale, but there's not always time for big, drawn-out apologies. So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to...
Imagine if that male-looking character claims that he or that character is a woman and that character uses a she/her pronoun. Imagine the confusion. All of them are going to do a lot of push-ups.
Release has, really stirred things up, especially among, longtime fans of the series.
Yeah, putting it lightly, maybe. It's everything from excitement about the new setting to some pretty strong opinions, lots to talk about, character design, gameplay changes, and even some pretty serious accusations like review manipulation.
Okay, let's jump in. The fan reaction to character design. That's one of the first things that jumped out from these articles. Players saying things like generic and even comparing the game to Fortnite.
Visually, it is different. Yeah, definitely a departure from what we've seen. In previous Dragon Age games, some of these articles point specifically to the Qunari. You know, the redesign. Fans are pointing that out as a point of contention.
Right, the Qunari with the horns and the physique.
Exactly, that imposing physique and the horns. They've got this
Mamara.
more streamlined look in the Veilguard, and some fans are interpreting that as the developers trying to, well, appeal to a wider audience, maybe by toning down some of the series' more distinct features, like the Qunari.
Interesting. And speaking of appealing to a wider audience, we can't ignore this whole debate surrounding the developer statements about Dragon Age.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You made a lot of money with your current core audience. Why would you sabotage your core audience just to appeal to a wider audience, which is a dice roll?
Yeah, and articles are picking up on that. Some are saying this emphasis on queerness feels forced or just like it's out of place in a fantasy setting.
It's a hit and miss thing.
You know, a natural...
And what happened was, it didn't hit.
Right, and this sort of ties into a bigger question about the narrative direction of the game, how player choices actually factor into the story. You know, Dragon Age games, they're known for branching storylines and big choices with big impact. But some of these articles are suggesting that the Veilguard might be more linear, maybe limiting player agency.
Yeah, I saw that one article. It's from a pretty well-known gaming blog. They're citing anonymous playtesters, and these playtesters are saying that the main storyline is pretty fixed, and player choices don't have much impact on the overall narrative. A lot of people are concerned that this could mean the Veilguard might be sacrificing the, choice-driven gameplay that made the series so popular to go for a more streamlined experience, maybe a more cinematic one.
Okay, so lots to unpack there. But before we get too deep into that, let's switch gears for a minute and talk about the gameplay itself. There are articles out there comparing the gameplay to God of War and Guardians of the Galaxy. They're suggesting that the Veilguard has moved away from that tactical combat, the tactical combat of the previous games, and towards something more action-oriented.
Right. This gameplay shift, a lot of people are talking about this. Fans who really liked the strategic depth of the combat in the older games, the ones with the complex combat systems, they're expressing disappointment. They feel like it dumbs down the gameplay, makes it less engaging.
Yeah, in a lot of articles, they give specific examples. Like they talk about the removal of the tactical camera.
Right.
And how the skill trees have been simplified. And for some fans, this just feels like, it feels less like classic Dragon Age and more like, your typical action game.
But then you have the articles that take the other side. They argue that this shift in gameplay is, it's necessary. That the series has to evolve to stay...
The argument that wins is the one that
dominated by these actions
that affected the sales.
On this, and this kind of leads us to
if the argument that it was dumbed down
allegations of
are winning, it means that it's not making money.
Certain YouTubers.
If the other side is winning, it means it's making a lot of money. But in this case, everyone knows now that Dragon Age, the Veilguard, or the Veilguard, as others call it,
review copies to
didn't make money.
Have positive reviews.
So,
about transparency, about ethics in game.
My guess is changing the game
have the right to manage
or how the game plays.
Right. Some articles even use
was a mistake.
Basically, creating fake grassroots support for the game. And they point to some instances where multiple reviews use the same language, almost suspiciously similar, like they're using the same talking points as the developers. It's reason.
Oh, come on, that is.
Or even outright collusion.
And there's one article actually highlights specifically.
There shouldn't be any argument when it comes to this. This is so obvious. This is blatant.
Which just so happens to be, the exact same word.
So you have
creative director John F.
10 people suddenly came up with the same key praise to use.
Conclusions. We need to look into these allegations.
Oh, come on.
See if there's anything to them.
Don't tell me they're part of a hive mind.
The game's player count. Some of the articles you shared, they're expressing concern about the initial player count, especially compared to the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. that launched around the same time.
Right. And it's true that Monster Hunter Wilds was just a free beta. So comparing those launch numbers directly, it's not really a fair comparison. But, some industry analysts, they're already saying they're worried about the long-term commercial success of the Veilguard, especially given the mixed reception and the high development costs.
Yeah, some articles, they even point to the fact that the player count for the Veilguard, it's been going down steadily since launch, which could be a sign that, the game is struggling to keep players engaged.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. I mean, initial player numbers, they're not always a sign of how well a game will do in the long run.
Yeah.
But a declining player base, that can be a red flag, especially for a game with, such high expectations.
Wow, this is a lot to think about, and we've only just scratched the surface. When we come back, we're going to dive deeper into some of these controversies and explore what they might mean for the future of the Dragon Age franchise. Stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about some of the concerns surrounding Dragon Age, the Veilguard, the changes to character design, gameplay, things like that.
Right, and it seems like all of that, it's feeding into this bigger discussion about, the direction of the whole Dragon Age franchise. Some fans feel like the Veilguard, it's just straying too far from what made those original games so great, while others are saying, look, it's got to evolve to stay relevant.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little more, that straying too far idea. One article you shared, it's from a YouTuber, it goes by Neon Knight. He uses this phrase modern audience to describe the character design. He specifically mentions, only 3 choices from Dragon Age, Inquisition carryover into the Veilguard.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty big reduction in choice carryover. And it does make you wonder, how connected is the Veilguard to the previous games? I mean, Neon Knight, he even calls it a, borderline soft reboot. Maybe that's why some of these longtime fans, they're just not feeling it.
Yeah, feeling a disconnect. It seems like maybe BioWare is trying to attract a new audience with the Veilguard. Maybe at the risk of alienating their existing fan base.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's tough. It's a challenge a lot of game developers face, right?
I don't know when this video was recorded. It seems that information presented here are
queer representation.
Quite not new. I wouldn't call dated, but quite
but others, they
not new.
Emphasized or even used as a marketing tactic.
Yeah, some articles are actually accusing BioWare of queer baiting, basically hinting at LGBTQ plus representation.
Yes, come on.
Without actually,
My guess is, I'm not sure if these are AI talking or if they are actual people talking, but my guess is they haven't seen how Steam is tagging or labeling this game Dragon Age the Veilguard. It is tagged as an LGBTQ plus game.
Exploit these communities just for
Again, nothing wrong with having an LGBTQ plus game because there are LGBTQ plus gamers out there. It's just that
the YouTuber who says he was denied a review code.
If it's an LGBTQ plus game, which means it's targeting a niche audience.
If it's true, of course. It implies that BioWare is trying to silence dissent,
having a cost of hundreds of millions in development doesn't make sense. They will not make money.
And it's not just YouTubers.
They need to scale down the cost of development.
Yeah.
He's been pretty vocal on social media, accusing BioWare of
also communication.
Some of these reviews.
If it's an LGBTQ plus game, it must be communicated clearly so that those who are not LGBTQ plus or those who don't like to play LGBTQ plus games can
the objectivity of some of these reviews.
Avoid buying them just because it's a Dragon Age game.
Not just parrot the developers.
It will lessen the backlash, or even the backlash is not gonna be
the industry
as extreme and severe.
Exactly. And speaking of damage,
because
remember that whole player count thing we touched on earlier?
If you know it's an LGBTQ plus game and you still bought it, guess what? You can't complain that it's an LGBTQ plus game when you already know that it is
viable in the long term. Kern's been analyzing the player data, and he says session times are low, so people might be trying it, but then they're losing interest quickly.
He even uses this term, the Dragon Age bait and switch. Like, the final game doesn't live up to the hype, or what we saw in previous games. Which brings us back to that, that worry about the game straying too far from its roots and alienating the the fans who've been there from the beginning.
It's hard to say what this means for the future of the Veilguard. I mean, player numbers can go up and down, right? Maybe word of mouth will help, or, you know,
Imagine this. Elden Ring 2. Is there an Elden Ring 2? Anyway, if there is another sequel for the game Elden Ring, and then it's a visual novel.
Get into something, well, a bit more controversial. This whole idea that the Veilguard is
Imagine that.
ultra woke or even like political propaganda.
this is tricky territory.
It's gonna disappoint a lot of its fans, even if the story is good, because obviously they are expecting the same Souls-like combat that made the franchise popular, and then you give them
Quote,
the sequel to the next Elden Ring game is a visual novel.
where she was non-binary. And then she goes on to say the game is a piece of garbage, predicts it'll be the tombstone of BioWare.
Wow, that's harsh. Definitely reflects how strongly.
Okay, so
But it's important.
I'm quite certain now that the voices
And Cyrano
talking here, either they're AI and they haven't played the game
inclusivity. So
as well, just like me. I have no plans on playing this game. Number one, obviously the game is not going to run on my PC, and I have
He broke his
zero interest in playing it.
says the Quinari companion, Tash, actually tells the player she's non-binary. And there's this YouTuber, Nur, he posted screenshots, actual game dialogue, confirming Tash uses they, them pronouns.
wow, and those screenshots also show dialogue options. Like you can talk about gender identity, and there's even a choice to make your character transgender. Some people are saying these things just feel out of place in a fantasy setting, that it breaks the immersion.
That's a valid point. When you're building a fantasy world, you have to think about the culture, the social norms. If something feels forced or out of sync with that world, yeah, it can pull players out of the experience.
And then there's this whole thing about the character creator, the inclusion of, top surgery scars.
Yeah.
Some articles are saying this is taking it too far, that it's not about representation anymore. It's about pushing an agenda.
It's understandable why some players might feel that way. It's a tough balance. Representation versus authenticity.
Here's the thing, it's not just some players, a lot of players, because if it's just some players,
Definitely.
the game would still be successful.
Still more to explore. When we come back, we'll delve into some of the broader implications of all this, what it might mean for the future of gaming. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive. We've been talking about Dragon Age, the Veilguard, and, well, all the controversy around it. The design changes, the gameplay, those elements that some people are calling, ultra woke.
Right, and it seems like all of this, it's...
And I'm going to say it again, there's nothing wrong in making a woke game. You just need to communicate
on the gaming industry.
communicate it well to your audience, so that those expecting,
Absolutely. And we've
those fans who are expecting
the industry. That, well, it tackles this whole thing from a philosophical
a certain
this question,
kind of game,
political. And it uses
won't be disappointed
top surgery.
because they were informed. Sure, there are going to be complaints, but at least
On the left, they can only...
they were informed and it was well communicated.
And he says
Now they can just
uses art to just another
decide whether to buy it or not,
creative expression. Explore
rather than pre-ordering it and then refunding because they later learn that
It's not about beauty.
it's a game made not for them.
Pushing a social agenda. And he sees the Veilguard as like the perfect example of this trend, where artistic choices, they seem to be driven more by, well, signaling political allegiance rather than creating a good gaming experience, something immersive and compelling.
It's a really interesting argument, and I think it reflects this, this cultural divide that we're seeing everywhere, not just in gaming. Whether you agree with Young or not, the Veilguard, it's definitely become a lightning rod for all of these conversations about art, politics, ideology. It's all tied up together.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of different perspectives, you found some articles about David Gator, the former lead writer for Dragon Age. It seems like he has some pretty strong opinions about the backlash against the Veilguard.
Oh yeah, he's been very vocal on social media, criticizing anyone who's upset about the changes, the character design, the whole direction of the game. He even uses some pretty harsh language to describe those critics, saying they're stuck in the past, resistant to progress.
But here's the thing. Even Gator himself.
Here's the thing.
Observations about the art.
Super heavy booster landing on a pair of chopsticks. That is progress.
Right? It shows how
Top surgery scars.
even people who were deeply involved.
That is not. That is not progress. That is backwards.
Saying that Dragon Age was always woke. But that doesn't seem to match up with the experiences of a lot of longtime fans. They see the Veilguard as a big shift, away from the previous games, especially in how much it focuses on identity politics and social messaging.
It's almost like there's this fight, right? This battle over who gets to define the true spirit of Dragon Age.
And again, they are the game developers, so they have all the right to do whatever they want with the franchise.
The reaction to
But
that
as consumers,
reveal
the gamers as consumers,
tons of dislikes.
obviously they have
BioWare misjudged their
they
audience
have the right to either,
and stuff.
buy and play the game or not. And
Seems
if they decide that they are not going to buy and play the game,
alienated by this new.
they have all the right to do so. The same as with the game developers, they have all the right to do whatever they want with the game.
The bigger picture stuff about the gaming industry.
And what's clear is that the Veilguard, it's more than just a game. It's a reflection of our times, our anxieties, the things we value. It's like a mirror to society, showing us all of our divisions, the ways we struggle with these complex issues of identity, representation, the role of art in a world that's constantly changing.
Yeah, and it's too soon to say what impact it'll have in the long run.
Yeah.
But the Veilguard, it started a conversation that's going to...
Okay, so the title of the video is Far From the Content.
real insights into how the gaming industry is changing and the challenges that developers face.
But I wouldn't say that I didn't like the video.
Right. In the end,
Also, the video felt like it was two AIs having a conversation. I don't know. They sounded like AI. Or maybe they're just really good at the language. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, what is this? Look at that. The new femcel movement is crazy. What is this femcel? Is this the counterpart of incel? There is a term called incel, which is like incelibate, something like that, or men who are celibate. So if I'm going to guess, femcel is women or females that are celibate. Let's go check it out. Sounds interesting and crazy.
See, this is yeah, feminist celibacy.
Okay, there you go. Yep, I was correct.
US after Trump's win. What is the 4B? I know 2B, it's a radical feminist movement. Oh boy, boycotting men.
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years in protest and protection of your bodies.
Very good. See, I was right all along. Their push for abortion is all about having sex.
I'm gonna be honest, I was very blindsided by
It's all about having sex. It's all about
that.
not taking responsibility, ignoring consequences, and just having sexual gratification. Again, there's nothing wrong with that if that is what they want. It's just that they shouldn't take their evil or hate on unborn children.
In power that you'd rather.
Because there's a lot of ways you can prevent pregnancy. There are contraceptives.
Sorry, if you're a man, I will not be responding to you. If you are a man, I will not be talking to you. I am going to be promoting the 4B movement.
Fail to die.
I stopped using soap washing myself completely. This is my opinion, is that anybody
Because they claim that
to film an outburst is
conservatives are against abortion and they're harming women, which is not true. There are exemptions.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to repeat the exemptions. It's life, health, rape, and anomalies.
This is just attention.
Obviously,
Weird behavior.
if someone's life is at stake,
I immediately am like,
you must save the life of the mother.
so people will feel sorry for you.
And if it will affect someone's health.
Obviously, I'm not saying every time a person.
And if you are a victim of sexual assault,
right? Because like it's happening.
And if there are anomalies that can be dangerous to both the mother and the unborn child.
Absolutely, you did.
There are always exemptions. And there are also they also have this idea of post-birth abortion. That is insane, because post-birth means the baby is already born. So what do you call that? There is another word for that, and that is just murder, infanticide. And they are okay with that. Again, the bottom line, the push against conservatives regarding abortion is that they just want to have sex without responsibility and consequence, which they can easily do by just using contraceptives. They like to paint conservatives as evil, but if you look at them closely, they're the ones who are evil. Who's more evil? The group that tries to save children or the group that tries to kill children? I don't know. My bet is on the group that saves children. Okay, let's see here. Asmongold, lack of entertainment. So we have V. So it seems that V has a few channels. This is one of them, lack of entertainment. The other one is Romanian TV. Going to check this one out. My OBS bandwidth indicator is red. I'm not even sure if I'm live or not. It doesn't really matter. I'll find out later once the hour is over.
I haven't seen the video. I want you guys to experience my genuine reaction because I'm curious. What could...
Okay, I've already seen the video.
In order to...
So...
Because he's a Twitch...
I'm basically just watching V's reaction.
And so, yeah. If it doesn't get shut down, I will make sure that everybody hears about it. Did you see someone offered 100K to jump Destiny? No. Twitch Streamer Central Committee does not like Destiny.
They're not even running. Well, we brought the white...
shock you.
This is the absolute state where I don't even know why they're political partisan. Like, if you're a platform and you want to make money, you crave the video responses. Like, you want different ideological groups to make video responses within the context of terms of service, of course, because this generates...
Look at this level. So we have that guy over there, and then we have Asmongold, and then we have this guy that issued a death threat, and then we have V, and then you have me. That is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Activists versus the skeptics. When you have the left versus the right, it makes people just want to tune in and watch the video responses, and it gets traffic.
They say calling someone fat is hate speech. No, it's not.
That they consider Destiny to be a problem.
Threatening people with death.
Fucking idiots.
That is hate speech.
Anything that happens, I mean, like, holy shit, guys. If you live in Florida, I have an opportunity for you. If you want to earn $100,000, let me know.
Yeah, I think that should just be a perma. I mean, at least the 2.
That may not even just be a ban. That's a crime. Like, if you're paying money, if you're...
Everyone, I am agreement here that that guy needs to be
terrorism
banned from the internet. Not just in Twitch, not just in YouTube, but in the internet.
To do criminal activity. You know, chances are they wouldn't. But when you have a huge audience,
Here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with arguing with someone. There's nothing wrong with having a different opinion. But there is 100% something wrong when you are out there
so
threatening people with death and even trying to offer money.
small guy with a small channel, usually people don't give a fuck.
Because there are crazy people out there that will do it or might do it.
And you're saying shit.
As always, it only takes one asshole.
It becomes a probability that just one guy may be crazy enough to take your offer.
See, even V has the same opinion. It takes only one asshole.
2 week or 30 days.
In everything that is good, in everything, I'm telling you, it takes only one asshole to ruin everything that is good.
Subscribers, and they're encouraging, like they're offering a fatwa on your mother. Would you be comfortable with that? No. So
That is why I'm super skeptic. As much as I like Tesla, I'm super skeptic with their full self-driving. Because
I love this.
unless all the cars on the road are FSD,
Pay the price.
it only takes one asshole to cause chaos.
Other people should benefit as well.
Was also someone who outright called for Asmon's ban. And guess what? That clip wasn't even the first time he threatened to kill
Wait. So this person that called for Asmongold's ban is a violator as well. Am I getting this correctly?
Same thing.
The very same person in the clip was also someone who outright called for Asmon's ban. And guess what?
Every single time. Every single time, especially on Twitch. I don't understand why. Like, if I was the violator, if I went around being a cheeky little shit, I wouldn't want to create a culture where people go after cheeky little shitters. Why do you want this? Like I don't get it, man. So you have so many people that go out of their way to break the TOS, and they also encourage that other people get banned to remind the community constantly that the TOS exists. This is
What surprised me is that these people are quite popular.
Even the first time he threatened to kill someone.
All I'm saying is on site. I would like him to come to TwitchCon and we'll see what happens.
And guess what? This is a partnered streamer who gets regularly featured on the biggest political broadcast of the platform. And remember those
pillar of the community, eh? Pillar of the community. Holy shit.
tweets denouncing Asmon? I have more.
Sean Black says somebody needs to kill Destiny. Somebody needs to kill Destiny. What do you mean?
This is what happens when you don't.
I just want to understand that this is liberal morality. Like, seriously, this is how they think society should run. You say the N-word, and it should be a capital punishment. Meanwhile, they're against the death penalty on principle. Like if you have someone that's a drug dealer, and he poisons schools, he poisons a community. No, we can't have like the death penalty for that. No. Muggers, steal, like all like the vile things that you can possibly think of. We need to be soft on crime. But the moment someone says the N-word, punish. This this is an insane morality. I do not know why society has ever entertained these people, or why we even give a random fuck about their moral compass.
Don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. That's what you get. You get Destiny.
This is Twitch, huh?
We would have so...
Destiny is a slave owner? What? Or he is a descendant? Isn't he like... I may be wrong. Doesn't he like have roots in Europe and he like has parents that went into the United States after slavery? But I guess like, you know, if it's white, it ain't right. God damn it.
So basically what's happening here is the left eating the left, something like that. It's war of the left.
It would be so easy.
Is this guy banned? Did they ban him?
Nope.
Let me see if they did.
Hello?
Clips no longer available.
Hello?
No? That's
Hi.
crazy. If they don't ban this guy...
Everybody wave at Asmongold. Hello?
Again, this was posted.
Why is Twitch doing this though? Like they just need... Look, if I was in charge of Twitch's moderation, and I was partisan, I would still give them a slap on the wrist. Just for the facade, I suppose. You know, they do this with their e-girls, right? Like, they don't want to ban them because they're making too much money. And maybe like they're into diversity and stuff, and they want to have like streamers like this representing them. I don't know. But like when they do something that's way over the line, you'd think like they would give them a 2-day ban, a suspension, anything, so that it creates the illusion that there is some fairness and they're applying the TOS.
Months ago, and nothing ever happened. While these partnered streamers were the
There's no way they don't know. There is no way they do not know. Like, I am willing to bet there have been people reporting this. Like the moment you're a content streamer that has tens of...
It's hard to believe that they don't know, because obviously a lot of people has reported,
Maybe it's a niche channel, maybe...
reported the channel for being hateful,
because they don't use AI.
or for violating the
I think they know.
terms and guidelines or whatever rules they broke.
and of course continue to be given huge platforms. And remember this clip from 6 months ago?
$30K to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear.
This partnered
To be fair, she apologized though, right? Like she immediately backtracked and apologized.
So basically all this
Talk to a lawyer.
hateful people are somewhat related to another hateful person. It makes sense. It makes sense, as they say. Birds of the same feather, they tend to flock together.
To be under Jack Dorsey. Like if you were a person on the right, they would stop you for a broken taillight. You use a metaphor, you use a joke, you use anything, you get banned. But if you're a person on the left, you could do this shit all day. You could dox people, you could harass, and nothing would happen to you.
Ethan Klein.
Dude, where's the you guys are missing a category for Zionist.
I think Twitch has a huge moderation problem. The worst part about it is that it's the third time this has happened. It happened with that guy, Sean the Black, and it happened also with Denims before that.
I'm willing to bet it's happening a lot more, and not with just this one.
Yes, it's happening. I'm pretty sure it's also happening a lot more.
Like the leaks.
These are just maybe the high-profile ones.
Basically like content creators that are protected. So like if you're a Twitch admin, you can ban everyone except a couple of people. Like if you want to ban them, you have to escalate the ticket, and then like someone has to look in, and usually they don't get banned. Yeah, no, like we knew that Twitch is unfair.
And also the ban is like a joke. What, a ban of 7 days? Come on, that's just that's a vacation. Ban them for a year.
In your face? I don't know. Or maybe it's because you have anti-Semitism. But again, like this used to be a thing since 2018. This is not new.
I think this crosses such a dangerous threshold. Actually, I'll say this. If Twitch doesn't ban this for this happening, I will make sure that everybody hears about it, especially their advertisers. I broke...
So, you have Destiny doing the same thing, now Asmongold. There's a lot of people that are using Gamergate tactics in order to go after Twitch's advertisers. And I can't say I blame them, because Twitch has been working on this controversy for years now. Like they went out of their way in order to make it happen. The thing is, people are fine with dumb TOS. Like some of Twitch's TOS are absolutely mentally retarded. Like for instance, did you know that you're not allowed to suggest that an e-girl on Twitch is popular because she is flirting with a Twitch admin? Like, that's one of their rules. They're not beating the allegations, by the way. Right? So, like, the idea that she's providing various sexual favors to an admin in order to get good with the algorithm or not get banned, like, you can't mention that on Twitch. It's against the rules, right? But the thing is, like, people are fine with mentally retarded rules as long as they're applied consistently. Like, have all of the ridiculous rules. Like, one of the ridiculous rules is that you gotta monitor your own chat. You gotta ban people in your own chat. I find that to be dumb as fuck. But, like, okay, like, that's the rule on Twitch. So you'd assume that everyone has to live under it, right? Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section.
Okay, so that was V's reaction to that video regarding Twitch supporting hate speech, actual hate speech. Okay, what is this? Dragon Age Veilguard crushed by huge waves of respawn. Have I seen this already? Maybe. But why is this not red? Let's see what we have here in my notifications. Okay, we have karate combat. How about this one? Okay, let's see this one. This one is from Side Scrollers.
Dragon Age Veilguard rumored to have sold less than Star Wars Outlaws. You got this from
Really?
Video, John.
Correct.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about this?
Yeah, I saw a tweet, or maybe it was from another video, saying that, there you go, it says there that it sold only 500 copies. 500,000 copies.
Game so far in its first week. Obviously, Star Wars Outlaws rumored to have sold about 1 million. We know Ubisoft said that their sales were soft and it was underperformed. We also know that they significantly reduced their Q2 earnings, or their net sales, net bookings, whatever you want to call it, from 500 million euros to a range between 350 to 370 million. They eventually came out, it was 351 million, so it was 30% decline. And I think we can safely say that most of that was from Star Wars Outlaws. We also knew that one analyst was speculating that it was going to be 5 million units sold in that first month. And that was on the conservative end. And he was like questioning, like, that seems really low. Like, you guys are hyping this up. Shouldn't it be a lot more than that? And it came in 20% of that low expectation. So if what Endymion Source is saying here is true, this is absolutely abysmal for Dragon Age Veilguard. Obviously, you still have 3 weeks to kind of double that number, but from everything that I've seen, most of the game sales are usually done within kind of that first week. You can look at Alan Wake. I just did an article about Alan Wake 2. Remedy reported that basically in the first, 2 months, I guess, from the end of October to December, it sold about 1 million units, and then it sold another 300,000 through January. And they have literally stopped reporting the numbers on that game completely, and they still say they haven't broken even. And there's an analyst that says they spend about 70 million euros on that game, so they should be really close to breaking even. If they sold 1.3 million units, that's around like I don't have the calculation in front of me, but it's like around $60 million or something like that.
But you're forgetting about marketing.
Or something like that.
That's just the development costs, unless of course the development costs already include or included the marketing costs.
Obviously, sitting at 500,000 is not good, because this game, I think, at least had to sell probably somewhere around 5 million is what people are kind of estimating based on the 10-year dev cycle and things like that. I think it's probably a lot higher, given the fact that it is a 10-year dev cycle. We have all of these iterations that they were doing. It was going to be a multiplayer game, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen Concord have rumored to have a $400 million just production budget. That was you don't even factor in the what they paid to buy Firewalk Studios. We've seen all of these games kind of have these like massive budgets, very similar to what we've been seeing in the movie and television industry. So my guess is that the budgets are probably a lot higher than what a lot of people are estimating based on like kind of employment costs and things like that. So it's really, really, really bad if this 500,000 number is accurate for the first weekend. And we kind of see it too, right? We see the Steam numbers didn't even break 90,000. So it was hit like 89,000. I think the last I saw, it was like below 60,000 in the last 24 hours. Might even be lower than that now. So yeah, 50,000 now. So it fell even further. I'm guessing I would not be surprised. Like, this is kind of what I was thinking. It would be below half by Sunday within the week of hitting its peak. So yeah, you see it fall in the charts, and we saw all this, right? Like, it didn't even get to the top of the sellers list until maybe like the 2 or 3 days beforehand. You had the information from your retail insider. I was hearing information from a retail insider as well. So we kind of saw all this stuff. You look at the PlayStation pre-orders. It was not really high on the list until all those games came out, like Sparking Zero, Metaphor Refantazio, and the only reason why it moved up is because all those games came out and they were no longer on the pre-order list. So we saw all the signs here, and so this is not really surprising. But it could be a little. I think it's worse than what a lot of people were expecting. I think to me, this is worse than what I was even expecting. I was thinking around Star Wars Outlaws is what I was seeing, and it might not even do that. So, which I'm happy for. I'm happy that this game is absolutely failing, because everything I've seen from this game is that it is a thinly veiled piece of propaganda meant to lecture people through politics and ideology. And at the same time, it's also trying to humiliate people by like, look what we did to Dragon Age.
Again, there's nothing wrong with that if that is what the direction the game studio or the game developer want to take.
We're not having that. You can play.
What's wrong is not communicating it properly, because
for pooping on the toy in the first place.
A proper communication will give the consumer, the buyer,
Did you see? John, do you have any relationship with Jason Schreier?
a better understanding.
Absolutely not.
Or
on X, after I called
they'll be better informed on how they would spend their money.
Good reason.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, because obviously, because it didn't make money.
A little bit.
Fortunately for the consumers.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank God for game reviewers and leakers.
I don't know if you saw that earlier today, but
I saw
the information about the game was the real information about the game was revealed, and they were able to avoid
it's been
giving BioWare their money.
That guy lies all the time. Sorry, like he was running damage control for Suicide Squad, saying it had nothing to do with DEI. He keeps saying that it has nothing to do with DEI, and it's like over and over and over again. There's people saying that they don't want to purchase the game for DEI. Like, that is evidence that people don't want this stuff. There is a literal 500,000 Steam curator group that Cabrutus Rainbow created that is literally like anti-DEI. You cannot tell me that there are people that are. You cannot tell me that these games aren't failing because of DEI. There is so much evidence to the contrary.
The idea that the culture aspect of this has played a zero part in the failure of these games is truly like living in a bubble. Like, no. It goes back to the, I've used this all the time, the Principal Skinner meme from The Simpsons, where he's like, am I out of touch? No, it's the kids who are out of touch. It's very much, I feel like that meme encapsulates the video game industry the best way possible along there. Lorena, have you heard about Dragon Age of Veilguard at all?
I briefly heard about the game. As soon as I saw screenshots, I'm like, oh no, yet another game with ugly chicks and effeminate men that I do not want to play. As for me, for quite a period of time, I wasn't playing video games because life happened or whatever, but I was buying a lot of video games. So now that I'm getting back into it, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Because the game, it was just usually, hey, games for gamers, this game is awesome, I want to play it, or it's just like, the gameplay sucks, you can pass on that. And people they just wanted good games. Now it's just like, okay, we have LGBTQ, Skittles Nation, whatever, diverse representation, and that's the best thing about this game. And it's just like,
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with woke and LGBTQ plus games.
Nor want to be shamed because
there is also nothing wrong if you don't want to buy LGBTQ plus and woke games.
And it's not quiet, okay. Women like to play hot women characters as well. Okay, I'm just saying.
We all know this. It's actually scientifically been proven.
I'm a guy, and I like my women characters attractive.
When given the opportunity,
I even enjoy playing
non-attractive characters,
female characters, because
all women chose the hot character. It's just
I like attractive women.
I'm with you, John. I thought this game.
That's just it.
Actually, do better than it actually is. I thought that
some gamers like to recreate themselves in the character creator. Not me.
Over on Steam, and
not me.
They're not going to do DLC to it. There's zero chance that they're just going to see this giant spike in player base. So what you have is what you get here with this game, and what you have is an underperforming game, no matter what the media will tell you.
Most probably than not, I would create an attractive, a hot female character.
Don't gaslight us and tell us what we're seeing, the data available.
That's why I like playing third-person games than first-person games, because
0% chance.
what's the point of making
And I guarantee EA's going like
an awesome-looking character if the game is in first person? You don't even see your own character. Well, you do see your character if there is a lobby, if it's a lobby shooter.
Sony people not realizing.
But most of the time, you don't see your character. It's insane. And then you buy, and then there are games with microtransactions where you buy outfit, costumes on a first-person shooter or a first-person based game. You don't even see the costume.
That EA CEO Andrew Wilson was saying about the game, though, just before Halloween when the game came out.
Right, 100%. Well, the fact that it sold less than Star Wars Outlaws is probably the most fascinating thing about this, because that game, you know, it's obviously been considered a failure, drastically underperforming. But this Veilguard,
I have like thousands of hours in Fallout 4 and Skyrim.
Probably the most shocking thing about
I've never played the game in first person.
Isn't doing well is they have
I keep telling myself one of these days I'm going to play this game in first person.
3 million units. There's nothing like that.
I just can't.
Metaphor Refantasio, 1 million units sold, 24 hours. What did we hear from Bandai Namco? 3 million units sold, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. What did we hear from Bandai Namco about Unknown Nine Awakening? Unknown Nine Awakening? Nothing. Crickets, right? So that's the same developer who is bragging about how well their Dragon Ball game did, but is not saying anything about their SBI infected Unknown Nine Awakening game. You can go back, you can look at Game Science with Wukong, you can look at Space Marine 2. They had a post about selling 1 million units as well. Space Marine 2 had more concurrent players than Dragon Age. It got over like 225, I think. So, and that's a AA game with a way lower budget. And that did absolutely.
That is the key when you are trying to make a woke or an LGBTQ plus game, and that is scaling down the costs. Okay, so there you go, guys. Another hour. The hour is over. It has ended. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and if you did, please consider following the channel in Rumble. If you're in YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, please go to Rumble. The URL is, or the link is rumble.com/caballero. It's in the description below. Or if there is no description, I don't know what to do. But usually, if there's a description, you'll find the link to my Rumble channel, and please go and follow me there. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and see you in my next hour. Bye-bye for now.